Is it permissible to marry a woman that doesn't wear hijab or doesn't wear proper hijab, the hijab properly? Because in one hand, we know that we can marry women of the book, and in the other hand, we know that if someone marries such a woman, he will be labeled as a dayus, and a dayus will not smell the smell of paradise.
First of all, ijab in Arabic means acceptance. And this is one of the pillars of marriage, to have ijab and qubul. So ijab from the father's side is to do the proposal. I give you my daughter in marriage. And the acceptance is al-qubul from the groom's side. He says, I accept her marriage. These are pillars in marriage. What you're referring to is hijab with an H. And I know in France they don't pronounce the H when it is in the beginning of the word, as in hotel or hello. But this is an Arabic word. So we're Muslims, we have to say hijab. Secondly, it is permissible for you to marry any Muslim woman, full stop. Whether she is wearing the hijab or she's uncovering her hair. Whether she is a good, proper, practicing Muslimah or a sinful, openly sinful Muslimah. The marriage contract, as in terms of validity, it is valid. There is ijab, not hijab, and qubul, two male witnesses, Muslims, khalas. The marriage is done. But is it the best thing to do? Of course not. Would be the person allowing his wife to go not wearing the hijab labeled as the youth? Akhi, the youth is a very big word. And when the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, there are three who will not be looked at or upon by Allah Azza wa Jal, and Allah would not have mercy on them, would not purify them, and would torment them severely in hellfire. One of them is the youth. So when they ask, what is the youth? The Prophet defined this, alayhi salatu, by saying, it is the man who approves vice and indecency and sins with his women folk. So this is a broad sense. A woman who does not wear the hijab by no means is doubtful that she is sinful. There is no dispute. She is sinful big time. She goes against the Quran, the Sunnah, the consensus of the scholars, decency. She goes against the norm of decent women. Nevertheless, this is not the end of the world. It's a sin. She'll be punished in her grave. She's disgracing her parents and her family. She brings the worst of names to her tribe when she comes, especially if she comes openly on the media and she shows her beauty to everywhere. But we do not label and stamp her to be women of hellfire, just like that. As well as we do not label her husband to be a youth, unless she adds to that free mixing, traveling with men, dancing with them, going out on business dinners or whatever, and the likes. Okay, now, akhi, you're not a real man. You're a youth. And there are many women who know that they're committing a sin, but they still have iman, little glimpses of iman in their heart. They give charity, they fast, they do night prayer, some of them. Yes, they're confused by shaitan. He's mixing oranges with apples, but nevertheless, we do not cross them out and say, just because of this sin, she is doomed in hell for eternity. As we don't go to men and say, any man who shaves his beard is doomed in hell for eternity. And we look down upon him, and every time we cross it, but phew, what is this, akhi? Oh, he was clean shaven. So what? He may have good deeds 10 times more than you do. Don't fall in the mistake of diluting sins because of our mistakes, or trying to uplift someone who's openly sinning because I have many mistakes that may put me down. No, I'm not doing this. But I'm saying, whenever you see someone older than you, you say in regret, he made so many good deeds, much more than I did. And when you see someone younger than you have this regret by saying, he's younger than me, he did not make as many sins I have done. I don't go to them and tell them. I don't go to someone who's drinking intoxicants or partying in a club and say, may Allah guide you, you have many things that only Allah knows of, you're better than me. No, of course not. But how do I look at people? This is what concerns me, and Allah knows best.